Tonight we report on why the Moses Lake School District won't be seeking a construction bond in April, and fathers and daughters hit the dance floor Saturday in Ephrata. What's happening in sports, Bob?
Thanks, Alan. Moses Lake boys and girls basketball advances to the Final Eight in Tacoma, and the Running Vikes claim the East Conference title. Let's take a peek at our Weather Center forecast.
Well, those strong, chilly winds bringing in a little bit of a chill the next couple of days, but hang in there. Late in the week, spring returns. I'll have the details coming up shortly.
I'm Alan Troop, and we have all this and much more on iFIBER 1 News.
From the iFIBER 1 HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFIBER 1 News. Your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
The Moses Lake School District is not seeking a construction bond or levy in April. The board discussed how to proceed following the failure of the $98 million construction bond during their regular meeting. The Grant County Elections Office certified the election on February 24th, with the bond failing to reach the required 60% supermajority. Board President Connie Opikins said that the requirement for the bond to be submitted to the county auditor by March 14th wasn't enough time for their district to adjust their strategy for educating voters about the need for a new high school. Board Vice President Kevin Donovan introduced the idea of a capital levy of a few million dollars during their last study session as a way to show voters what the bond money would build. He told the board a capital levy wouldn't be practical. Ephrata's Art Semro American Legion Post 28 held its annual crab feed on Saturday to raise money to support several community programs and services. Reporter Jeff Chu was there and has the story.
Things got a little crabby at Ephrata's Art Semro American Legion Post 28, but that's okay. The Legion Hall's annual crab feed was underway Saturday. It is the Legion Hall's big event. Nearly 200 people crowded into the hall to dine on fresh crab and prime rib. Post 28 adjutant Mike Montani explained where the popular dinner's fundraising goes.
Boys State, Girls State, Legion Baseball, veterans programs. We support a lot of veterans programs, and too numerous to mention.
American Legion volunteers bought 350 pounds of crab from a Yakima vendor where it's been purchased for the past 25 years. Montani said the event has been going on a lot longer than that.
This is the 27th year that I've been a part of it. And it was 27 years ago I transferred to this post from when I moved up from Arizona. I don't know how long before that.
I'm Jeff Chu for iFIBER 1 News.
An Othello man is serving community service after he was accused of pointing a gun at a co-worker. Gerardo Alvarez Meraz, a 39-year-old man, entered an Alford plea in Grant County Superior Court to assault in the 3rd degree. The Alford plea means Alvarez Meraz doesn't admit to committing the crime, but believed he would be convicted if the case went to trial. Alvarez Meraz has no previous felony convictions and faced between 1 and 3 months in jail. Judge Evan Spurline followed the attorney's recommendation and sentenced Alvarez Meraz to 96 days of community service. The victim was driving his vehicle in the Royal City Orchard, where he worked, when a vehicle driven by Alvarez Meraz reportedly forced him to the side of the road. When the victim approached Alvarez Meraz, the man allegedly pointed a gun at the victim's chest and said he was going to kill the victim because he got in his way. The Port of Moses Lake's attempt to return industrial rail to the Grant County International Airport could be decided next month. The port is waiting for the Washington State Legislature to approve a $21 million portion of the $15 billion transportation deal released by the Senate on February 12th. The revenue would be generated by increasing the gasoline tax by about 12 cents per gallon and would fund several transportation projects across the state. Port of Moses Lake Executive Director Jeffrey Bishop said the port has spent more than 16 years trying to bring railroad back to the airport after the tracks were allowed to deteriorate in the 1980s. The neglect has made the water crossing over Moses Lake unusable, and a new route is needed. It is estimated to cost $35 million. The port officials hope state funds pay for the majority of the project. And now we take a look at people being sought by law enforcement.
This is Sheriff Tom Jones with the Grant County Sheriff's Office. Each of the people you see here have a warrant for their arrest. If you see any of these people, we ask you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but call us at 509-762-1160 or send us an email at crimetips@co.grant.wa.us. If the person is presenting a danger, call 911. With your help, we can bring these people to justice and make our community safer.
And we'll be right back after a short break.